Okay, so hi everyone. Happy, what do you call it? Happy Friday? I think that's what, no, thank goodness it's Friday. That's what I think what people say. But either way, it's Friday and I hope everyone is well. So I hope everyone is well. Let me see. The exams I am making progress on. I graded I think the first 2 or 3 questions if I remember correctly. Again, I'm going to do my best to get it back to you by early next week. I can't promise anything. I'm sorry it's taking long. I was going to say that. And there is homework and a quiz on Lumen. Okay, so, again, make sure, you get that done. It's due Saturday by 11:55 p.m. Tomorrow that is, okay? All right. Okay, so we have that. Are there any questions at all? Okay. All right, let me just say this also. Excuse me. If you, for some reason, did not get a homework into me on time, or you forgot to do it, I understand things happen. This is not an easy situation that we're all living in. I do understand that. Okay, so if you did forget to do if you forgot to do a homework or a quiz, don't be afraid to contact me. I will be happy to reopen it for you. I've done that before. I've done that for people. Okay, I will do that. I understand this is not an easy situation, but if you don't contact me, then, there's nothing I can do. That's just how it works, okay? As long as it doesn't happen repeatedly, as long as it doesn't happen too often, then, it's not a problem. Okay, are there any questions at all? Okay, well, let me start lecturing then. Okay, so I did send out the notes to everyone. Now, last time, what we were doing, remember, was we were looking at absolute value. I mean, there is a formal definition of it as over here, okay? Now, the formal definition, I understand, could be a little strange and confusing. I do, I understand that. Excuse me. So that's why we have this not so formal definition. Essentially, you could think of absolute value as the distance between the number and 0 along the number line. How far you are, the absolute value of a number, you could think of as how far it is from 0 along the number line. Distance, in other words. It's a little bit easier to think of it that way than this way. I understand that. And we did some examples last time. We saw that the absolute value of 3 is 3 because 3 is 3 units away from 0. And the absolute value of -2, we did this last time. The absolute value of -2 is 2 because it's 2 units away from 0. It's to the left of 0, not to the right. I think, yeah. You can also consider equations involving absolute value. For instance, if we have this, let's say, so we want to solve this equation. Well, again, we want to find all numbers we could put in for x that makes this equation true. That's what we want to do, right? Okay, so in other words, we want all numbers whose absolute value is 2, meaning all numbers whose distance from 0 along the number line is 2. Okay, what does that? Well, we have 2, that's 2 units away from 0, but that's not the only one, right? Because we move to the right to get the 2, but if you go to the left 2 units, you're at -2. So in this case, in this kind of equation, we don't have one solution, we have 2 solutions. Okay, again, it's just you're looking for two numbers that are 2 units away from 0. Here we go to the right, to get 2, but we also have to consider going to the left, and you get -2. With the absolute value of x equal to 3, same idea, right? You want numbers that are solutions to this equation. In other words, you want numbers such that their absolute value is 3. Absolute value is distance from 0. So what numbers are 3 units away from 0? Well, we have 3. This is 3 units away from 0. But is that the only one? No, because we can go to the left. Go 1, 2, 3 units away. We're at -3. So there's 2 solutions here. This, 3, and -3. Okay. I did do this last time, so I don't want to get too I don't want to go too slow here. But what about this here? I think we did this last time as well. In this case, you want to solve an inequality. So in this case, we want to find all numbers whose absolute value is less than 2. That is, we want all numbers whose distance from 0 is less than 2. Well, what numbers are going to do that? Here's 0. Well, everything between 0 and 1, right? That's less than 2 units from 0. Keep on going, la 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 la. Da, 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 da. Oh, we stop at 2, right? Now, why is that? Because 2 is 2 units from 0. And of course, if we go further to the right, you're going to be further away. So let's see if I can draw it out. So everything in here has absolute value less than 2. Now, is that the only solution? Are those numbers, everything in here, are those the only solutions? No, because you can also go to the left, right? Same idea. You know, if you go to the left, bear with me. Trying to draw this thing with my mouse, which is not easy. There we go, right? We stop at -2. Everything before -2 and between -2 and 0, right? That has absolute value less than 2. Once you go to the left of -2, right, you're going to be further away. You're going to have absolute value greater than 2. So we stop here. And again, that's because absolute value is distance from 0. So once you hit -2, you're 2 units from 0. If you go further away, your distance is only going to get bigger, meaning your absolute value will be bigger. So in other words, all numbers are here. All the solutions are here. So we have everything from 0 to 2 and -2 to 0. In other words, we have this interval. We have 2 intervals. So excuse me, we have this interval. Okay? And again, to the left, you know, you don't want to get, you want your absolute value less than 2, meaning you want your distance from 0 less than 2. And once you get to, and once you're at -2, you're 2 units from 0. Anything to the left of -2 is only further away. So you have to be between 0 and -2. Good. What about here? Well, in this case, right, it's the same idea. We want our distance from 0 less than or equal to 3. Less than or equal to 3. Right? Absolute value is distance from 0. So we start at 0. Well, let's move to the right. Okay, we're less than 3, right? 1 unit away from 0. Keep going. Our distance is less than 3. Oh, we stop at 3. Now we're 3 units away from 0 exactly. If you go to the right of 3, you're going to be too far away. So the numbers from 0 to 3 work. What about the other side? Same idea, right? You have all numbers, right, before -3, right? -3 is 3 units away. To the left of -3, you're too far away. So we're staying here. Okay. So we want these two intervals, and what is that? That's -3 to 3. That's all. And that's what our solution set is. Now, what am I getting at here? Well, I'm trying to